Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, it was our fault. We made a mistake. The spotter said it was clear. It wasn't clear, and, I didn't want to tear my car up, tear his car up either. I respect everybody, and I demand respect. And, I apologized to the guy when he came over the car, explained to him what happened, and then he took it to another level when he started calling me an idiot and whatever else. And I don't appreciate that. I'm not going to take it. I told him how I feel. I called him out. He didn't show. And so I'm good with it if he's good with it, but I'm not going to be disrespected by no means.
Yeah, I guess I had a dinner date at Applebee's last night that I didn't find out until it was too late. It's a shame. Love their riblets and boneless wings, but...
All right, folks, welcome back to Meet Me at Applebee's, your number one unrefined motorsports podcast, and it's over. The NASCAR season for 2025 is done, and I can't say I'm very excited to talk about it, but we're here. It's me, Brian, Rob, and Ashley. One, not final time. Well, final time for the NASCAR year, at least talking about it.
Spotify seems to think that we're shutting the show down for good, which is not true.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you guys listeners have noticed this, but there's all these like segment names when you look at the podcast on Spotify. We don't write those. That's AI. And one of them last week said that the show was saying its farewell. So that's not the case. I mean, we got to go one more episode after this until next season kicks off. But yeah, we're not going anywhere. Regardless of what Brian makes it sound like right now.
Which listen, I'm not even trying to make it sound like that either. I'm just, listen, we got feelings, and we're gonna talk about them. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. What the fuck? Friday.
Yeah.
Truck Series. Let's start there.
You don't ask True Love and I how we are?
How the fuck are you? Fine. How are you?
I'm fucking great. How are you, True Love?
I'm here against my will.
Okay, come on. Let's not go that far. Nobody's
my contract obligation.
Spotify was on to something, huh?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Also, just a heads up, I still have a mouth injury from work.
Still?
Bear with me.
Must have been some hot-ass chili.
Yeah, I think I got a second-degree burn from my blackout drunk chili.
Holy shit. That was, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, really. Mouth injuries are supposed to heal faster than normal ones. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Go get some fucking ice chips, and we'll start talking about the truck race here. Jesus, Murphy.
All right, well, no injuries here, no drugged animals, nothing over here on my end.
That was just last week.
Depressed, yeah. Yeah, Friday, the truck race. This one's easy to talk about. It was the Heim show pretty much the whole time. Let's be honest. Majeski was keeping up there. Both Caden Honeycutt and Lane Riggs had to start from the back, I believe, for adjustments or God knows what. But Caden actually made his way up through the field.
He did,
was running the top 10 most of the race, top 5 even towards the end. Meanwhile, Tyler Ankrum barely sniffed the top 10 all night until his race ended prematurely. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, it was Corey Heim. It was his race to lose, and he wasn't really coming close to losing it at any point.
Well, almost lost
until the end, and then thankfully he didn't. But
yeah. Are we going to get to that in a second? Do you have anything you want to talk? Okay, gotcha. All right.
I'm just trying to remember what happened before all the chaos happened, if anything happened. I don't think much, really, right?
It was pretty tame race up until the end.
Yeah.
Up until 3 to go. I mean, there was the first red flag that happened with 32 to go. It was a big wreck with.
Well, that's I'm trying to remember my timeline here, because that wreck, there was a restart that caused it, right? Because I think Brent Cruz, something happened to his. I don't know, but what was the caution that?
The caution before that was some guy named Clayton Green, who I've never heard of.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
generated by the PS2.
That's it, right. So,
Fantasy driver.
The big wreck, so Brent Cruz his truck didn't go. It broke or something, and that caused a little bit of a pile up in the back. Gio Ruggiero took the worst of it. He got absolutely blasted into was it turn 1, I think. Of course, Fox fucked that up. Like, totally missed it the first time around. He had to wait a few minutes for the replays, but it was a massive hit, and thankfully, no, it wasn't Gio Ruggiero. It was Andres Perez. He hit the wall.
Yeah, Perez cleared himself and wiped out Gio and a couple other guys. But
Gio
Brent Cruz was later. Which, by the way, Brent Cruz super impressive on Friday night. I guess anytime he's been in that truck, he's really turned some heads, and I mean, he's definitely the next guy, I think, the next Heim, if there was one, the guy to watch in the truck. So I guess we'll see what old Brent Cruz has for us coming up. But anyway, continue.
So, yeah, there was a short red flag there. And then what was the caution that brought out the chaos? Is that the one that Ankrum was involved in, or no?
That was when Connor Mozak had a tire going down.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. For like multiple laps, and nobody flagged him in. Nobody told him to stop.
NASCAR told him to stop,
which he didn't. And
he was trying to pull onto pit road or onto the apron anyway, and just was like, nah, fuck it, and just pulled right back out of the racetrack.
Yep. So he got a flat. That caused a caution, and everybody pits. And Heim.
3 to go.
Yeah, 3 to go. Heim, he takes 4 tires, and everybody's like, holy fuck, what just happened? Apparently, this was a plan all along by Scott Zipadelli, and Sheldon Creed used this move a couple years ago to win his title when he was still winning races. On the restart from 8th place or 10th place or
11th,
far back. What's that?
It was 11th, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was far fucking back. He was not in a spot where anybody thought he could have pulled this off, but absolute insane dive bomb into turn 1, basically running a foot, if that, off the inside wall. Yeah. 7 other trucks
drove it through the fucking fan zone to make that pass.
Yep, and got up to 2nd, and thankfully for his case, there was another wreck, and that's the one that involved Tyler Ankrum and a handful of other people. Leading up to a restart where Heim was pretty quick to clear Ty Majeski and get his well-earned, well-deserved championship. This was probably the only race of the season where I was cheering and rooting for Corey Heim, and you got to have all the respect in the world for that move, and it showed why he was the guy to beat all season and why he earned the championship. So
yeah, that team is unfucking touchable. They've been making decisions like that all year, and I don't know why I doubted the 4-tire deal. I mean, it looked ridiculous when they did it. It was like, well, they just fucking pissed that one away and handed it over to who was in second. Who cares? It doesn't matter because it was Majeski. Yeah, but yeah.
Although even it could, for a second, it looked like even Caden could have got up because he was that far up there. He was. I think he finished 3rd, so...
Yeah. From puking himself at the Snowball Derby to almost winning a truck championship in Phoenix. Quite the year for Caden Honeycutt. In somebody else's... A totally different truck than he started the year in, so... What a wild ride for him. But yeah, Corey Heim getting the championship and the win. That's... I was glad to see at least out of the 2 where there was a clear best in show, at least one of them got it. That was nice to see because, like you say, Corey was untouchable this year.
Yeah,
he becomes the first driver in history out of all 3 series to ever lead a lap in every single race of the season. So
unbelievable.
Yeah,
fun stat.
Got to see Taylor Reimer take a ride in the truck. That was fun. Mm-hmm. That's his girlfriend. Toyota Love Fest going on.
My favorite part of the celebration was Limp Bizkit blaring on the speakers the entire time. So
that was good. We got to see one last really trash call from Jamie Little coming across the line there. Mm-hmm. That was good.
But who knows? I mean, I have to imagine she'll be back next year, but hopefully not. I don't really know how that
wipe the slate works. Clean. Oh yeah, we have a note here about Mikey Waltrip getting his last little bit of shilling for NASCAR end during the red flag. You guys want to elaborate on that one a little bit?
No,
I don't remember what he said specifically.
Almost want to turn the race off before it even ended. I do remember yelling "shut up" out loud at the TV.
Yeah, as we were wiping Gio Ruggiero off the racetrack. Just him. It was bad. It was worse than the high limit sales pitch we got at the end of their season.
This was in addition to Corey Haim's last race as a full-time Truck Series driver, it was also Matt Crafton's last race as a full-time Truck Series driver.
It was also Corey Haim's last race as a full-time driver for a little while.
That's what I just said. Well,
in general.
Well, who knows? But
Matt Crafton, though.
Yeah, I don't even know where he finished. Somewhere in the middle of the field, and afterwards he just bitched about how bad the Truck Series has gotten over the years. And good riddance. Go groom another teenager.
She's in her early 20s. My favorite. Yeah. My favorite part of that interview with Matt Weaver was him saying that I hate what they've done to these trucks. You can put a damn monkey in there and they can drive them. And my question is, what the fuck's your problem, man? Be nice to the other monkeys, pal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Crafton definitely taking the Darrell Waltrip route and staying around a little too long, I guess. It sounds like he's not done for good. I'm sure he'll pop back up for races here and there. Yeah. But it seems like the full-time career is certainly over. And as you said, he's going to be dropping the girlfriend off at soccer practice or whatever it is they do. So... good riddance.
And then the final note for the Truck Series race, Ben Kennedy was the NASCAR higher-up that made the appearance on the championship stage Friday night, and he needs to go see a doctor because he looks like a fucking ghoul. Just like completely sunken in eyes, just looked gray. He's way younger than all of us. I think he's like barely 30, and he just looks sickly.
He looked very unwell.
Well, I guess after being part of those charter negotiations, that'll do that to you.
You need some sunshine and some vitamins.
Or just a makeup
some
artist.
Orange juice.
Put some makeup on the boy. But yeah, he looked awful. Like one of those fucking aliens from Close Encounters coming off the ship. Remember them?
On to the Busch race.
The Truck Series, ladies and gentlemen.
On to the last Xfinity Fastest 5G Fuckfest race.
The Fuckfest 300.
Yeah.
I want to, before we start, Kligerman said that the fastest Xfinity mobile line gets drivers $600 a pop every time they say it.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, someone calculated that Zilich said it 63 times this year, so he made $37,800.
Fuck.
Yeah, people were acting like that was new information, but that's been out there. He's not the first person I've heard say that. I would say $600. I thought it was $200 or $300, but that's still a nice little chunk of change.
They're not doing that for free.
Yeah, of course you would. They better not. How many times they fucking say it? Jesus.
Also, real quick before we get into the Busch Series here, or whatever the fuck it's going to be called now. And apologies if we already mentioned this, but Gio Ruggiero, Rookie of the Year. Very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So as far as this race goes, I mean, while granted, it was Connor Zilich's year, Allgaier, we all thought had probably the actual best shot, just knowing how good he was at Phoenix, and it honestly, for the most part, looked like it was going to be his night. He did lead a good chunk of the race. Zilich was kind of just floundering in the top 5, top 10 all night. They really just didn't have the speed that he's had all season, and just wasn't really a factor at all. There was Carson Kvapil, really, but...
yeah, Connor was always close, but it was just never enough.
Yeah, no, there was never really...
some laps, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. There was never really a time where anybody thought, it's his. But Justin Allgaier controlled a good portion of the race, and I can't remember when that flipped over to Jesse Love. Eventually, Jesse Love was always there all night. He did have a very fast car in practice, and he was in contention most of the night. trying to remember. So obviously we've got the wreck with Ryan Sieg and Mayer's car. What point of the race was that now? It was towards the end,
That was
correct?
about 50 to go. That's
probably one of the last pit stops or big pit stops. And is that when Jesse got the lead?
Jesse got the lead literally 2 laps before that, I think.
Okay.
When he kind of bumped Allgaier's bumper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which, wasn't an egregious move. It was just a little bump and run. So, that's, especially in a championship race, to me, that's, fair game. But he had the faster car anyways, it turns out. So, he had to get around him. That was pretty much it. I'm trying to think. I mean, there wasn't like a green, white checkered or anything. Jesse just kind of went out to lunch and Allgaier, nobody else could catch him. So, definitely both of the two Saturday and Sunday champions were the drivers that won were the ones I bet the least amount of money on. Of course. So,
well, who would have bet on Jesse Love?
I guess I just didn't really, you got 3 JR cars in there. You figured one of them would have fucking had it, but
seriously.
Nope. Pop takes another victory. And
Junior goes home empty-handed. 3 best cars in the field, with a 4th chasing the owner's title, if I remember correctly. So coming up empty-handed in both counts. That's just I can't say I saw that coming.
I don't think anybody did, really.
I mean, he hasn't won since Daytona in February, so.
Yeah, I mean, he was fast all year. I mean, there's a reason why he did make the top, the Final Four, but. Yeah,
my favorite part of that celebration was Pop wandering around on stage like a lost nursing home patient with a bottle of champagne in his hand that he couldn't get open, and he was just trying to find someone to help him open it for a very long time.
Couldn't find his IT
guy. Yeah, trying to find his IT guy, and then eventually someone took the bottle from him and switched it out with a Miller Lite that was already open.
Perfect. That's a little better. I love the shot of Richard Childress before the race was over. They were kind of looking at the team and taking a look at the crew chief and everybody on the pit box, and they switch over to the classic shot of Richard Childress just like as far away from the racing service as possible in like a concrete structure of some kind, just by himself on his little perch. It's like, where the fuck did they find such an empty spot at the racetrack for him to hang out? But yeah, I always love those shots. They always manage to find him at the Xfinity races. Maybe they get $600 bonuses anytime they are able to find him like fucking Waldo or something. But
and then we had Jesse Love start off his championship victory lane speech with "I feel so clean."
Oh my God, he said it twice, and it's like, oh, dude, why? It's gross and weird. Like, you won a title, you're not clean now. What the fuck does that mean?
I think he realized that that's not what he meant to say exactly.
But then he said it again.
I'm sure he's just at a loss for words, because I mean, obviously no one counts themselves out of a situation like that of winning a title, but to be standing there when you didn't expect it, I would imagine that's probably pretty overwhelming. Coming all the way from Ventura last year, where he pissed me off for reasons I can't remember, racing a sprint car, all the way to the bright lights of Phoenix. Yeah. To steal it from Connor Zilic,
who also had a great interview quote.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He said the lights were too bright.
That they were.
Which I guess the segue. Listen, he sucks. Mama Smith. He's not a person I respect at all as far as what he says in regards to NASCAR and just about anything else. But he definitely was getting it all weekend. A lot of it deserved. Some of it apparently, of course, racist. And
I'm sure his DMs are a fucking cesspool to be waded through.
I just want to say for all those clutching their pearls over him dropping the hard R in reference to all this, fuck off. I mean, if anybody can call that shit out, he can, and he's not getting fired by anybody for that. Okay, he should be fired for other reasons, but he's definitely not getting fired for calling out people for dropping slurs.
Like the Creators League or whatever the fuck that was.
yeah, exactly.
That's a good example, but
yes.
I don't think. Yeah, let's not clutch our pearls too hard over this one. Again, like you said, Brian, he definitely deserves a lot of the flack he gets. I don't feel bad for him necessarily with a lot of it, but I do think it's annoying at this point because he's just the latest thing for NASCAR fans to dump their vitriol on because they're just pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's even like you said, I don't agree with almost anything he has to say, but that doesn't matter. Like, it's just like sort of the flavor of the week, fucking festival of hate, Target. So, I don't know, but it's over now, so leave Mamba alone.
Yep.
Meanwhile, his podcast co-host, Harvick, after this race.
Within seconds. He had
Former RCR Busch Series champion.
Yeah, he had that dumpster image ready to go.
Yeah. And I think it got more likes than any post related to Jesse Love winning, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that out of everything we saw this weekend, not to get ahead of ourselves, but this particular finish in this championship is the one that shines the brightest light, no pun intended, on why this system is not the fairest way to decide a champion.
I mean, I would say both. I would say both races have can battle for that crown.
I disagree with you on that, but we'll get to it. But
yeah, I can't wait. In addition to things I can't wait to talk about, Eric Almirola ended up earning the championship title for the Joe Gibbs car.
They should give that guy a fucking full-time ride. He's better than half the guys out there. It's insane. I hate to say it. I don't like Eric, but, I mean, anytime he got in that car, he was a threat.
You're not wrong. I can't deny that, but I don't want to see it.
No. There's a lot of things that are true that I don't like.
Yeah.
I can't recall ever seeing the owner's championship driver do a burnout, but maybe my memory is just fuzzy.
I think maybe I remember it a couple times when it was like the same team won both. Like, right. I think I remember seeing that, but not like two separate instances like this one. Yeah. But it also didn't. They didn't show Almirola's car on TV that I remember. No. I just saw pictures of it. So that's fine. At least he didn't get it on TV. Also, what didn't really get on TV, unfortunately, was Tommy Joe Martins fighting his own crew chief after the race.
That was the best part of the whole fucking night.
Which I still anybody get a clear idea as to what this was about? I heard it was something about like something said over the radio about the team owner being cheap or something.
That's
about
exactly
tires.
what it was.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, he was bitching about
something about tires.
Yeah, they didn't buy a set or something like that, or refused to buy a set or something like that, and the crew chief at the end of the year just, I imagine, fed up. You know, sometimes you don't get along, right? And I would imagine that guy, I'm curious to see if he comes back to Alpha Prime next year.
I don't know what the fuck's going on there, to be honest, because Retzlaff just announced he's gone. Tommy Joe, within the last couple weeks, has said they have no drivers signed for full-time rides next year. This shit happens. Meanwhile, after the fight, you see Tommy Joe, a video of him. He's just happy because like two of his cars finished in the top 20 in points or something. So, listen, I like Tommy Joe, but I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. And hopefully they get it sorted out because, I want to see him succeed, but I don't know. And more bad news for Connor Zilic. So, speaking of bullshit, him not winning the title on Saturday means he is no longer eligible for the FIA rookie test, which is, I guess, that's to start your license to get into Formula One. I don't know.
No, it's for WEC. The hypercar division in the World Endurance Championship. The prototypes. You have to have a certain amount of super license points. I don't know what the criteria normally is for that. I know it's a little different from Formula One, I think, but still, it's a pretty hefty system to go through, and NASCAR is not part of that by any means. And if he would have won the championship, he would have had the ability to go do this. But since he lost it to his literal best friend, Jesse Love, that's one more thing that Jesse took from him this weekend. But it sounds like he's gonna. I mean, IMSA's a totally different deal, and he's gonna do some prototype running here in the U.S. with IMSA, is what I gather. Probably Daytona, which is cool.
The Daytona test, yeah.
But that's an unintended consequence of all of this, for sure.
Salt in the wound, man.
I mean, driving a hypercar is top of the heat for a race car driver. Those things are incredible. WEC it's up there with Formula One for me as far as like the technology is concerned for what you're driving, and it just fucking sucks that not only do you not win the championship, but you can't do this other cool thing as a result now. And your best friend you still get invited to the championship party, I assume, because it's your best bud. But
yeah, what an awkward dynamic to have to navigate for Zillage.
Yeah.
That's
but at the
tough.
end of the day, I mean, he's got a fucking cup ride next year. So I would say he's doing just fine.
He's a teen. He's got plenty of time to get those extra points. So
yeah,
I'm sure he'll get them eventually.
He's going to be all right.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess might as well talk about Sunday.
It does come next on the list.
Yeah,
so
it's always been the next day of the week.
So going into the race, the big stories were tires, as there were a bunch of flat tires by a lot of drivers in practice, which granted was, I think, more about setups and testing the limits of the tires itself, which is going to become a common theme in the race itself, unfortunately. For as much as everybody's talked about Goodyear and the tires and what they mean to the races this year, this was not a Goodyear problem, and pretty much anybody involved in the sport can tell you that. This is a team problem as far as their setups.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Briscoe was the one that definitely worried the most out of his fans. He had multiple flat tires, and they didn't really get a good handle of their car. Like, they didn't really have too many long runs because of the flat tires. Meanwhile,
they barely got anything out of practice, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin, he was having clutch issues, which were, again, a thing he dealt with all weekend, and the team did not change the clutch, which was a surprise to everybody. But he still got the pole and was one of the faster cars in practice.
Yeah.
And
along with all the Penske cars, so thank God none of them made it to the Final Four.
Yes, well, and we'll kind of talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
As
Or
an
will we?
afterthought,
Because who knows? Also, AJ Allmendinger further turning his brain into Jell-O pudding. Had a tire go down another ridiculously hard shot into the fence.
Yep. Poor guy. But those were the big stories. I mean, Hendrick cars were. Larson didn't seem like he had as much speed as he wanted in practice, and I think Byron was up there. But I mean, that's what happened before the race. Also before the race, so the big celebrity that was in town for the weekend was Sydney Sweeney. I'm trying to think why she was there. Oh, she's got some movie where she plays a boxer from the 80s, so that's why she was there promoting that shit. But she was like the guest of honor, and I think she gave the call, right, to start your engines?
She went out on stage and did some weird speech where she was promoting her movie while the four championship drivers just stood there.
Yeah.
So
that was cool.
Good and awkward. But yeah, she was in the drivers' meeting when this other thing happened.
Yeah, the NASCAR world was abuzz with Austin Dillon trying to introduce William Byron to Sydney and claiming that you guys could make Taylor and Travis look like chumps or whatever. I hate to break it to Austin, and I hate to even admit that I know this, but she is dating Taylor Swift's ex-producer that she had a major falling out with. So I don't think making that comparison is going to grant William any points.
Yeah. Wonder what kind of Legos that guy builds.
Probably one's made out of gold.
Yeah, gold bricks.
But in order for Austin to even get Byron near Sydney Sweeney, they had to fend off Hocevar and Gregson, who would not leave her alone.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, I'm not going to blame them. If I was in their position, I'd be shooting all the air balls I could at her.
This is the one chance you get.
But yeah, that was pretty much it for the pre-race, right? Is there anything I'm missing as far as before the race?
There was a moment before the race started where Denny made me cry before the race even started, because he started basically sobbing because they showed him a video about his dad and J.D. Gibbs right before he's climbing in the car. So,
oh, Jesus.
Really, really kicked things off great there.
Yep.
So, tugging on the heartstrings.
And also, too, I guess before the weekend or before the race starts, regardless of what everybody thinks of Denny Hamlin, it seemed like everybody in the NASCAR world was hoping this was going to be in his day. Like, he is in the top 5 for the first time in his career of in the most popular driver race, which even he was surprised by.
Yeah.
And even in the like the pre-race interviews and stuff, like Larson was just like, yeah, I'm not going to feel bad if I lose to him, you know? Like, everybody was just like almost pulling for Denny to pull this off.
Yeah, every single fan poll that I saw of who people wanted to win, Hamlin was leading all of them by like a landslide. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Even me, who is a certified Denny Hamlin hater, despite my warming to him a little bit for suing NASCAR, I would not have been offended by that by any means. And he certainly had the car to do it. There's no question about that.
Well, yeah, starting out the race, so again, Denny was on the pole, and towards the end of stage 1, Byron was able to get their lead away from Denny. And I think going into this weekend, I think most people thought the battle was going to be between those two anyways, which is what it was for most of the race.
Yeah.
Denny still controlled the race throughout most of all 3 stages, to be honest. Stage 2 is when flat tires, though, started to become a problem. Both Larson and Briscoe had flat tires. And
I had a fucking come apart when that happened. It was like 30 seconds apart.
Yeah, it was one right after the other, and I'm trying to remember.
Hocevar too, like all the back to back to back.
Briscoe, originally, it seemed like his car had been fucked up from the flat tire because after he changed tires, he kept going backwards, but whatever it was, they sorted it out, and he made his way back up to the front later on towards the race. Larson, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if he got caught a lap down or something.
He did.
Maybe?
He got caught a lap down, and then they got the wave around on some aggressive, or they made their way back up anyway through some really aggressive tire strategy, taking 2 on both stops, I believe. I can't remember exactly how it played out, but yeah, both of those guys charged back up into contention at the end.
Yep.
Or relative
it really
contention
didn't seem
anyway.
it didn't seem like it was going to matter because stage 3, Denny was just able to go. He ended up with a 3-second lead and led almost all of the final stage, if not at least the majority of it. And it seemed like this was it. It was finally going to be it. He was finally going to do it. He had the car to do it. The team was pretty much perfect all day long. And then 3 laps to go. William Byron.
There was another restart before this.
Was there?
34 to go with J.J. Yaley, and that's when Hamlin had that insane restart and dove around everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I
think that is probably why they decided to go with 4 again. Well, not to get ahead of ourselves again, but I think this is probably what informed their decisions that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, because that was the first time that Larson and Briscoe took 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while it doesn't really factor into the decision, we also saw what happened with Heim on Friday and how 4 tires is what allowed them to win. But granted, the cars are so different. I don't think it really obviously didn't play out the same way. But yeah, 3 miles to go for Denny Hamlin finally getting his championship, and William Byron William Byron brings out a caution with a flat tire, and everybody comes into pit, and a few people, Blaney, Keselowski, Priest, a couple others, they all stayed out. And, based on the calls previously in the race, Denny's team decided to go with 4 tires and came out, I think, 10th to Larson's 5th or 6th. And unfortunately, the green-white checkered, Denny just did not pull off the dive that he needed to and was not able to get around Logano. And
Logano held him up a little bit there.
Yeah, and Kyle Larson is your 2025 Cup Series champion.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Pretty much, the chat went dead after that because, no offense, Rob, I love you, but I was not dealing with anybody's glow.
Y'all didn't want to hear what I had to say anyway.
No.
I'm happy that you're happy, but that is the extent of my joy.
I had to go out for a walk.
Before we get into the emotional discussion here, I guess. Ryan Blaney, I don't know if you guys know this yet or not. Ryan Blaney actually won the race. He won.
And he
what
won.
a fucking finish that was.
I still haven't seen it. I've only heard it.
I haven't either.
I made sure I went back and watched it, and Lee Diffie did not even mention Ryan Blaney.
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing.
Getting Keselowski at the line. I mean, look, this is when I have my second come apart of the day, because Ryan Preece was on the front row, and I was like, if this motherfucker wins the race and Kyle Larson is able to get this title, I'm calling into work on Monday. Unfortunately, staying out didn't work out for Preece. He managed to get a top 10 out of the deal. I believe that's his 5th or 6th in a row, so great performance out of the 60 team to close out the year. Brad came up just short. He had a bad exit of 3, I think is what it was, and kind of went up the racetrack, and Blaney just managed to find a patch of asphalt that worked for him on the bottom of the racetrack and was able to just get him right at the line. Hell of a finish. That one will be on the highlight reel forever, if anyone even noticed. And I'm still not sure if NASCAR has announced that he's won the race.
Yeah, I mean, great for Blaney. He would have been the champion had he finished one spot higher in Martinsville.
Yep.
But hey, that's the fucking format we're dealing with here.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah, not anymore, thankfully. Although, who the fuck knows? That'll be.
Watch out for that secret 4th thing NASCAR has
secret 4th thing. So, I guess to wrap up my feelings on all this, regardless of format and all the other bullshit, I think the hardest part of this was the way he lost. Like, if something happened early in the race, or he just didn't have the car all day, I would have accepted it. But he did. He had the car all day. He did nothing wrong and it's hard to even call their pit stop call the wrong call. I mean, technically it was, but in theory it shouldn't have been
it was the wrong call, but it wasn't a bad one because it's worked before. So, I mean, and that's it's racing. It happens like that sometimes.
But, yeah, I mean, I think that's why, to me, that's why it bothered me so much, and also, the entire season coming down to one green, white, checkered, and aside from all the sentimental stuff, I mean, it was agonizing to watch that shot of Denny just sitting in the car staring for like 30 seconds, imagining what was going on in his head, and it really took the wind out of my sails. I thought it was a pretty good season overall. Very competitive season. A lot of interesting stuff happened, and we've got all these storylines with the lawsuit and all this other shit going on, and to just have that happen just soured it to me. Just soured the whole thing to me. So I'll leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, you can go next, True Love.
Oh, okay. You want to get all the sad stuff out first?
Yeah, I do.
That was just brutal. I mean, I've obviously been sad and disappointed after races before, but I have never experienced that same emotion that I experienced on Sunday before after a race. Like, I couldn't even. It was almost like I just felt nothing. It was.
Yep, that's how I felt.
Completely numb. I don't know. It just felt very gray and bleak, and I felt so much. I just felt empty and like so apathetic and disheartened after it because of an entire season coming down to a green, white, checkered. So I don't know. It just felt for me in that moment, and even still now, I'm like, if there isn't a 36 race playoff next year, I can't see myself coming back the same NASCAR fan that I am right now. Like, I can't. It felt like being in a toxic relationship where you give all this time and energy of yourself to something, and then you feel like you don't get anything in return afterwards. So, and for a lot of my friends that I talked to after the race, they all felt the same way. Like, I feel like that end of that race was a big turning point for a lot of fans, depending on what NASCAR decides to do in the off season.
While I agree with all of what you just said, I think it's pretty dangerous to hinge that hinge that sentiment on a 36 race season, because as much as I wouldn't mind that, I just don't feel like they're going to do that. I feel like it seems like, at least from all the stuff I've read and listened to, the 10 race
chase, yeah,
sounds like the best middle ground. And I honestly, while I would love to see the full season come back, I actually kind of wouldn't hate that either, the 10 race chase, because I think it is the best possible compromise. And
as long as there's no points resetting.
Yeah, as long as they just do the 26 and then straight 10 or whatever, as long as it's very clear, then I think that'll be a good compromise. And also, I mentioned this to you guys, and I know Rob said you've seen it mentioned. I didn't necessarily see it mentioned, but one thing that I think I just don't think I've noticed this brought up too often, but the playoffs does allow drivers to miss a race or two for valid reasons and not ruin their season. And I don't think that's a bad thing for the sport. With drivers' healths and stuff. I mean, we all were watching when we were kids, and we saw guys get in cars when they were hurt, when they shouldn't have been in there, and just, get in the car and get out. And that is the one thing the playoff system has that the 36 race season doesn't. So I think maybe that probably factors in as well. We also talked about, Kyle Busch's 2015 season, how, he missed 11 races and was still a champion because he had to win every fucking race for I don't know how long to do that, and he did that, and that's an amazing feat in itself. So,
yeah, again, you guys know my feelings on that. I thought that championship was bullshit. Just that's the traditionalist in me speaking. He did win it fair and square. I can't, take that away from him. He's a legitimate champion in that regard. But like, in what sport, does this happen? Like, NASCAR is not a team sport in the sense that football or baseball or anything else is. Like, we settle our main championship based off of an individual, and if an individual is not competing for every single event, and he's able to make that up just by performing well later, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, if you miss a race, you miss a race, and you make it up in the points legitimately. And again, I guess I understand the medical waiver thing. I do agree with that. I think that's definitely a positive, and I don't have a counter to that because I don't want to see these guys trying to tape their eyes open like fucking Ricky Rudd did back in the day, or race with a broken shoulder like Dale did. But this is sports, and you can get hurt in sports, and sometimes you miss because of injury. And I think racing, no other racing series has a provision like that. So why should NASCAR be any different? I guess is my takeaway on that. But I don't know. I think you guys are expecting me to totally counterpoint you on how I feel about everything, but I felt this way after the championship race for years now. Like, even when my guy wins, which I was very excited to see Kyle Larson make that run on the high side, and again, that was a pretty incredible move he was able to pull in a place where guys hadn't really done much of that throughout the day. It was kind of the reverse of what Blaney was able to do to win the race in secret. But yeah, what does it mean? When I think I was saying this to you guys in the chat we have earlier, that I thought it was funny that this season both opened and closed with guys winning something huge and being surprised that they did it, because that's how William Byron was at Daytona. He was like, oh shit, I won, how about that? Because the seas parted for him and he was able to pick up the win. And same with Larson here, though. The only difference here is that the reason for Denny losing is completely legitimate. On the race level anyway. They made the wrong call in the pits, and it did not pan out, and somebody passed them. But that's racing. That's competition. It's not a soap opera. It's sports, and sports is fucking cruel sometimes. And I do feel for Denny, especially with the family element involved there. I know that was probably what was weighing on him the most. But I don't know, for a guy that says he doesn't care about championships all year up until it comes down to when he loses it, it actually does seem like he gives a fuck about it, and hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't Carl Edwards this shit. Hopefully, because Denny is an asset to the sport, whether you like it or not. I wouldn't blame him if he did.
I wouldn't blame him, but I don't think he's going to unless we're missing something in the banquet here he announces. But I have a feeling that give a few months, and once he wins this NASCAR lawsuit, that he's going to have a reason to want to come back.
I agree with that. And yeah, again, there's another format coming in too. And that was the one thing I kind of kept in mind the whole time, because I never expected Larson to be able to pull that off. I mean, they had a great season, despite the fact that it was under the radar. A lot of top fives, a lot of top tens. They did get 3 wins, what felt like 3 years ago. And even though the summer felt like a drag, like they actually kept it together, and they ended up getting the most points out of anyone if you actually tally it all up. So the other injustice out of this whole thing, and if there is an injustice in this, is the fact that Christopher Bell wasn't able to participate in this, because I really thought he had a season that was worthy of being part of having a seat at the championship table. You know, there weren't any guys out there that didn't deserve a shot at it. I think everybody there was equally welcome at that table, but I thought it sucked that Christopher Bell wasn't able to have a seat at that table as well, and Ryan Blaney for that matter. I'm glad he didn't. Really glad he didn't. And you know, Chase Elliott too. I mean, he had one of the most consistent runs of his entire career. And
pull some extra chairs up to the table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and there's a lot of guys out there who, under this format, deserve a shot, which at the end of the day, no one really deserves anything. You have to go out and actually beat everybody else. And if that's what the sport is and that's what competition is, then I don't think it should come down to 2 laps.
Yeah.
They got to do something to fix that. It shouldn't come down to one race. It shouldn't wipe the slate clean for what you did all year. And here you go. Here's one racetrack. Here's 2 corners. You know, like that. To me, that's always been the problem. I've hated it since it started. I am fucking elated that it's gone. It seems like no matter what happens, it's going to be better than what we have now. And maybe I'll actually treat this a little bit more like a legitimate sport now that they're moving in that direction, because the fans got so fucking pissed off about it. So, again, and to be a Kyle Larson fan, I'm super stoked about that championship, and I'm glad he was able to turn this year, which I'm sure was pretty tough for him, you know, mentally, you know, after embarrassing himself at the Indy 500 and going into a slump, not just in NASCAR racing, but also with his sprint cars. He wasn't running as well there. And in Cup, he certainly wasn't doing exactly what we expected him to do, or at least what he was doing earlier in the year. And the fact that we come all this way and he's able to get the championship, and even that's overshadowed by this black cloud of everybody just being pissed off. Like, that's a problem too.
It also doesn't look good when the guy who just won the championship kind of has this expression on his face like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be happy right now. And then he himself says that this doesn't feel great, that, you know, Hamlin didn't win, and he compared his own playoff. He said these playoffs for us were as Joey Logano as it gets. And then the broadcast is saying that the guy who just won the championship needs to get better in the offseason. So that also doesn't sound great.
No. But again, like, what are the 2 most important things in NASCAR that you can win? The Daytona 500 and the fucking championship. I don't really think there's any. Maybe there's other races that mean something, but those are the 2 big ones. You're a Daytona 500 champion. You're a NASCAR champion. Insert sponsor here. Who knows which fucking 4 they have now. And the fact that, again, both guys who carry those championships were both bemused by the fact that they were able to get them. Like, what does that tell you? So, again, I'm dancing on the grave of this fucking format. I'm hoping that we'll be able to see something that resembles what I love about NASCAR. I could stop being such a fucking curmudgeon all the time and stop being so cynical. I'm open to it. I'm very excited. And good fucking riddance. And also, congratulations to Kyle Larson. I love you, bud. I did get some woo-hoos and a shotgun in there when it happened, so I'm still stoked about it. But, yeah, glad the season's over. Not to ramble on too long here, my apologies, but I really thought this year was just a year of extreme duality. Like, there were some really great parts, there were some great moments, there were great races, there was intrigue in the championship battle, but then also some of the shittiest things imaginable throughout this season that really made you question why you watch it in the first place. And those things kind of coexisting alongside each other. I think this whole year felt kind of uncomfortable for me.
It's weird.
And and especially with the lawsuit coming in and the actual future of the sport as we know it being in a bit of limbo right now. It just, it was it was a weird thing. And then to have it come down to one race, which I've always hated, it definitely, I definitely watched a lot more flow racing this year. But that's not true. I always watch flow racing all the time. But I watch less NASCAR, I'll tell you that. I was more inclined to go mow the lawn on Sundays than I ever have been before. So, yeah, on to 2026. Hopefully the changes that we hope are made are actually work out. And whatever happens, I'm hoping that this restores some of the trust and the love that we have for this thing.
Yeah. One final thing that we'll go out on from the weekend that I think we can all agree on is how much Jordan Bianchi sucks.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I don't see a Darf of the Week nominee here, so I'm going to give that to him.
Well, that was my plan. I didn't see anything that made me as angry as this did.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan on the teardown, I mean, he was his normal self, as far as praising the playoff format and the chaos and all that bullshit that he normally peddles. But I think the most egregious thing that he said was that, in the days of the regular full season format, he said he talked to an old writer from those days, and he said you had to struggle to find stories about the sport. And that is probably one of the most frustrating things I've ever heard a journalist say about a sport they're covering. I know, Rick from the Scene Vault, he called him out on this, and so did half the internet, it seems like.
Mark Martin.
Yeah, Mark Martin. Like, so many people. There's so many stories that can be told about everybody in the Garage Series, and if you need a manufactured bullshit storyline like the playoffs to create content, then you're not doing your job.
It's lazy.
And he hasn't said anything about this backlash yet. I'm assuming he probably will next week, but there's a few times that I call out and hope somebody gets fired, and I would hope. I don't think it's going to, but I mean, I feel like that's certainly a good cause for it, because fuck that guy.
That wasn't even the worst part of it for me. So I don't listen to the Teardown because I don't like listening to my parents fight, and that's just what it fucking feels like.
You're the one who got me to listen to this fucking show like 3 years ago. You're the one who's like, oh, that show's great.
It was. It was. I don't know what happened with the change to Dirty Mo, and it's nothing against the Dirty Mo or the production of it or anything, but the format just changed to them just being complete cunts to each other, and mostly Jordan just being an asshole to Jeff Gluck.
Yeah.
And the thing that pissed me off the most this week, and again, it's the only show that comes out immediately, and I'm driving to work on Monday morning. I'm still thinking about the race. I want to hear some insight from a couple guys who know what they're talking about, and for all of his faults, Jordan is well versed. So, and sometimes they have good discussions. I was like, we'll give it a shot. And I forget exactly what he said to Jeff, but it was something along the lines of just demeaning him for questioning the validity of how we settle a championship. And it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that are a lot smarter than us that are actually looking at numbers here, but yeah, I'm sure you know better. You absolutely know better than those people do. And just being a total asshole to Jeff, and just the look on Jeff Gluck's face is like, I would have loved to see an on-camera fight between two guys that are just sitting next to each other on a fucking bench at like what I assume is like a steak and shake or something. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm sure
that was the part that pissed me off the most too, was that clip that I saw.
And not that we're professional podcasters or anything like that by any means, but and I know we push each other's buttons a little bit on here, but it's always in good fun. But I can't imagine one of you guys, or more importantly, from my own perspective, I can't imagine saying something that cunty, yeah, and just such vitriol, and just like, who the fuck are you? Like, this guy's literally your equal. So, and I'm sorry, maybe Jeff Gluck wasn't in the stupid NASCAR Netflix series like you were, and you got to go buy some extra penny loafers from Buffalo Exchange after you were done. But like, it's just, why would I want to listen to that?
Yeah,
and I won't be tuning in again.
Gluck on Twitter, I have Bianchi muted, so
and I disagree with a lot of Gluck's opinions as well.
Same.
But I'm also I respect him because he's informed and he's relatively kind, and he's not like a lot of NASCAR journalists that are dicks. Dave Moody. What's it? Chris Knight? Remember that guy? Holy fuck, that guy was a prick. But anyway, yeah, I won't be listening to that show again as long as Jordan's on it, because that guy's a fucking prick.
Yep.
Good.
Sorry I introduced you to that show. I promise you it was good at one point.
Yeah.
Before they started hating each other.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up all the race news of the weekend. Other news and notes, Justin Haley was announced. Was this last week? He was announced to drive the Ram truck.
Yep.
Which isn't really a huge surprise. Chase Briscoe at the awards banquet, pre-ceremony, whatever we want to call it, interview meetup before the actual ceremonies. He posted a photo on Twitter. This is what happens when you had the same media availability as Denny Hamlin. It's him just completely by himself with 30 other reporters just around Denny trying to talk to him. Which, listen, I love Chase, but he did play the Tyler Ankrum role on Sunday, and
Chase battled his way back up, whereas Tyler,
he battled his way, but it wasn't his day, and it wasn't ever going to be his day.
Ankrum was a boat anchor, and at least Chase.
No.
Chase tried a little bit.
It's not fair to Chase, I guess.
The NASCAR awards are on live right now while we're recording, but I am boycotting them this year for, reasons. But congratulations to Chase Elliott for most popular driver.
Wow, big fucking
Even though
surprise.
I would not have been upset if Hamlin won this year. I voted for Elliott every day, but I did vote for Hamlin the last day out of sadness and sympathy.
Well, that's so gracious of you.
Yeah.
To give up one of your Chase votes. Other news. So the amount of races that Cup drivers can enter in the trucks and Busch Series is now up to 10.
Cool.
Which, granted, making that announcement this late in the year when a lot of teams already have shit set up for next year. I mean, who knows what that'll change and who would come over and run more races, but I don't think it's a bad thing. More competition, more reason for more fair weather fans to show up on Saturday to see their Cup driver in another race. So
it sounds like Ross Chastain is going to be the one who probably takes them up on this offer.
Probably,
the most.
And Kyle Busch, I would think.
Carson Hocevar as well. He likes to run a lot, so I would imagine you're going to see him more often. They actually talked about that on DBC today. He was going to be probably running a few more races than you'd expect. One note I took away from this in regards to the championship format, and again, I was sort of corrected on this after I shared it with a few people, but my initial takeaway was that them announcing this shows that NASCAR is actually leaning in the direction of there being some sort of playoff rather than a 36 race normal ass season like the three of us want. But then a couple of people were like, well, I wouldn't hang my hat on that just yet because that can be changed. But they kind of have to make moves right now to open it up as much as they can, regardless of what the format is, because guys are now trying to get sponsorship in order, and like this is selling season right here. And if you're trying to sell extra truck rides to sponsors or Xfinity rides, this is when it has to happen. So I think NASCAR is trying to serve both masters here and give people opportunity before they make a decision, which as far as I gather, they have not even met yet to discuss what the format is going to be for next year. So running out of time, Playboy.
we won't know till January. I doubt there's going to be any announcements till then, so it is what it is. Also announced was they were lowering the age limits for
just in Grand National.
Just in, who fucking cares? You got preteens and late models, whatever. Yeah. I'm not really surprised.
I met an 11-year-old who was racing late models at the finals a couple years ago, so.
Yeah.
At least it's not trucks.
there was a little beef on Twitter with Landon Huffman and Kyle Busch, who to close out his season earned yet another free order of chips and queso.
Finally got a top 5, folks.
This was the first time since 2020 that Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Brad have all finished in the top 5 together, which is a random stat.
Little throwback for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I forget the exact tweet, but Landon tweeted something about the format, and he referenced Kyle's 2015 championship run as maybe proving why it wasn't a good format, and Kyle just responded with a bunch of middle finger emojis. Did it go further than that? I don't think I saw past that. Okay. Well, whatever.
Still made my day.
Yeah. So I don't really know what to say about this, and based on what we talked about before the show, but apparently
Maybe Rob can explain it.
Yeah, Rob, you take this one.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. Where did you see the driver attached to this?
It was part of that tweet that I sent y'all. It was, I think Matt Weaver and someone else were reporting on it, that a bunch of short track racers had been mysteriously withdrawing from upcoming races, and Landon Huffman's name was on that list.
It was, okay. I just didn't want to put anybody out there because I think a lot of these guys are having to sign NDAs.
That I saw, was Huffman's.
Yeah, so of course the Ram truck program in the truck series, obviously, because they don't race trucks anywhere else. There's going to be a couple extra cars. There's a star car, which I've seen some of the guys are probably going to get in there. I can't talk about that. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but this list is fucking awesome. Some of you guys are going to love this shit.
I think the quote that Huffman actually said, he said he will be away roughly 3 weeks to pursue a cool opportunity.
Yeah, and this is the second car. There's a gong show type deal. Remember like the gong show setup that Roush did back in the early aughts? Where David Reagan came out of, and I forget who else was on the TV show, but there was essentially a reality show where they we're trying out drivers for a ride. The other Ram truck is going to be the winner of this competition, from what I gather. Details are kind of scarce on it, and again, but it's true. There are a lot of guys who are somewhat notable that are dropping off of entry lists. Huffman being one of them. If you put it together, but there's a few more big ones that are probably going to be a part of this thing. And what I take from this is that you get a ride out of this one, or at least a few starts in a truck if you perform well in this sort of combine game show kind of thing. So I don't know what network it's going to be on. There's not a ton of details out there just yet, but I will be tuning into that, and I'm sure it'll be a video of the week at some point next year, whenever it drops.
Chris Rice said 25 days of doing something exciting, so that could mean anything.
Yeah, they're at South Boston doing all that, I guess. But yeah, very curious to see who's actually on the list and who gets a shot in the truck series. Remember the time that Tyler Carpenter won the Dome and then he got to race a truck? That was fucking awesome.
Forget it.
I got that T-shirt wadded up in my closet somewhere.
Sure, it's got some cool tribal on it or something.
No, it's the most boring shirt you've ever seen in your life. But I believe the Carpenters are going to be at the World Finals, and they've got so many of those left over. So if you have $5 and you want to buy a Tyler Carpenter Truck Series T-shirt, go holler at their children. They're out there selling merch for Dad.
And finally, it was Halloween this past weekend.
It was.
And I saw a few drivers wearing outfits and whatnot, but probably the most startling one was Kurt Busch, who dressed up as a Monster Girl. Didn't need to see that. Didn't show that much skin, but just the entire presentation of it was just like, yeah.
Was that his lady he was with? I would assume it is.
It was, his girlfriend dressed as him.
Yeah, she had a fire suit on and a mustache and all that. Or a beard. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good for
old Kurt. Pictures so y'all can stare at Kurt forever.
Yes. I saw it more than enough already.
Well, you'll see it again tomorrow.
All right, with that, I think that ends the normal NASCAR portion of the show, and it's time to dive into a shallow septic tank this week.
Yep, season is almost over, folks. We're starting to get down into the really big event portion of the season. Some would call that the off season, but I don't think the Snowball Derby and the Gateway Dirt Nationals and the Tulsa Shootout are small events. It's just the only thing that's fucking happening. But yeah, a few things happening alongside, of course, the big NASCAR weekend. So climb it in the septic tank. Let's have a good time in here. Flip the little light on up there and put some hand sanitizer on, and let's talk about the National 100 at Eastern Alabama Motor Speedway. 3-day show down there to celebrate Halloween. Brandon Overton picking up a really spooky win on Halloween Friday. Good for him. I think he got $5,000 for that one. Saturday, Jimmy Owens inherited a win after Mark Whitener DQ'd. He came across the scales light, and it turns out that they forgot to top the car off with fuel, which is the rule. So they handed the win away, and I think it was Mark Whitener's wife or somebody involved with the team went on Facebook and made the saddest post you've ever seen about it. They feel so dumb about that. But hey, it happens, and nobody hates a Jimmy Owens win, right? So the Newport Nightmare getting $5,000 for that one. But Tyler Erb was the big money man this weekend down at Eastern Alabama, picking up $30,000 on Sunday. It's his second National 100 win, and now we're starting to get into the weird portion of all the random late model series in the country kind of wrapping up, and other big events. Lots of southern stuff happening because the weather's too cold up north, and most of that is on Flow Racing, so you'll hear about it probably next week, or maybe you won't, because that's the last episode of our regular season here before we get into the playoffs, whatever the fuck that means. Also, let's see here, World Finals Week is upon us, folks, and unfortunately it sounds like I might be the only one that's there of the crew. I know True Love can't make it, unfortunately, which is a shame, and I know sadly, Brian's on the fence, but
yeah, sadly the Greyhound just keeps deleting every single stop in a 3-hour radius of me, so.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Just kind of makes it impossible. So
well, we'll make up for it next year at some place here in the United States, and again, the jury's still out on Brian, but I'm sure he'll show up. He'll be there.
We'll see.
But yeah, World Finals, of course, this week. Leading into that was the Short Track World Championship. That's supposed to be a 4-day event at the dirt track at Charlotte for all manner of crate late models, B mods, 6-shooters, fucking Hornets. Pick a weird short track bang banger name out of a hat. They got them there. Unfortunately, Charlotte received about a foot of rain over the course of a week, and this is unfortunate. There was a monster truck show at the dirt track a few weeks ago, and they covered the drains up in the infield so the monster trucks could run over them. I guess it was plywood or something heavy enough for a monster truck to run over it, and they covered it with dirt. So that way the drains would be not drains, and they wouldn't sink or anything like that. I don't know, they covered them. Anyway, whoever was supposed to convert the track back into an operating dirt track forgot to remove those drain covers, and so they turned it into a fucking professional bass fishing tank. And that track, with all that rain and nowhere to go, it was an absolute fucking mud pit. It was Woodstock 69 out there. Or was it 94 with all the mud? Or was it 94. All of them? It was 94, yeah. It was Woodstock out there, folks, and they didn't get this show started until Saturday afternoon. So that fucking sucks. Unfortunately, because of that, I didn't really get to watch much of it, but congratulations to everybody who won, and I'm sorry and apologies to everyone who didn't. Hope you had a good time in the Queen City while you waited around for them to turn it back into a track, which they sort of did. It was pretty rough and rutted out, but they did the best with what they could do, and I'm hoping they get that track in better condition for when everything kicks off on Wednesday night. So tonight, if you're listening to this on release day, for all the qualifying for the big World Finals weekend, which we'll talk more about that in a second. Also leading into this, the Extreme Outlaw Midgets are currently at Millbridge. Carter Sarf picked up a big win last night. Also, Jacob Denny has already clinched the title, so congratulations to him. It's his first Extreme Outlaw Midget title. The midget feature is about to kick off as we are talking about this. Brent Cruz on the pole, Carter Sarf sitting right next to him, and your champion Jacob Denny in 6th place. Nick Hoffman Of course, one of my personal favorite drivers and general good guy, also running this show. His family's involved with Millbridge pretty heavily, owning the track and all that. He's bringing up the rear in this feature, and I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. But yeah, World Finals, really excited about it. It's going to be a big, big weekend. Of course, both World of Outlaws Series late models and the sprint cars wrapping up their 2025 campaigns this weekend. Bobby Pierce has got it all but sewn up in the late models. It would take a lightning strike or a surprise playoff system to knock him out of this championship. Same deal with David Gravel. He's pretty much got this thing sewn up, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to see a show this weekend because pretty much anybody is going to be at this thing. The late model list is huge. It's like what you'd see at an Eldora or at Florence or the Prairie Dirt Classic, something like that. Every car imaginable is at this thing. That's going to be a great show. And same with the sprint car side. Unfortunately, Carson Hocevar not running this one as advertised. Apparently, they're going to be focusing on Gateway instead. With the new
Sydney Sweeney somewhere.
Yeah, she's not going to be at the Dome. I can tell you that. But yeah, I don't really have any predictions or anything like that for the finals. Although I am very excited to see Josh Rice get his first run in the JRR car. That's very exciting for him. Get a little head start before running a full-time campaign with them and Lucas next year. And Dason Pursley getting his first shot in the Casey Kane racing machine. I don't know what number it's going to have, but he's going to be replacing both Casey Kane and Brad Sweet, which is a pretty heavy pair of shoes to fill, but I think Dason can do it, and I'm excited to see him do it. Looking forward to buying a T-shirt when I find that trailer out there.
Whether I'm there or not, I definitely want to see Alex Yankowski take the Super Dirt Championship because it's a battle between him and Matt Williamson for the title, and hopefully, I believe he should still be in Stuart Friesen's car, which would help. So
I think so.
We'll see how that pans out.
A couple other pieces of news here in the short track world. High Limit dropped their 2026 schedule. A few tracks dropping off, a couple more being added to the schedule. Most importantly, Arrowhead Speedway on my mom's birthday weekend. Fucking hell yeah, that got planned out just perfectly for old Rob, running on a Tuesday night. So I guess I'm going to Arkansas in April is what I'm trying to say. Very exciting news for me. Also, the Whelen Modified Tour. Of course, Pavement Modified's up here in New England, the marquee NASCAR series, in my opinion. They're holding a test at Jennerstown coming up here. It's a tire test with American Tire Company providing the rubber. This is the first time, God, I don't even know how long, maybe since the series began, or at least since the late 80s, I believe, that another tire company has been invited into the Modified Tour paddock, even for a test. So a bunch of guys going to go out there and see what they think about the American Tire rubber. And we'll see if there's a change in the future, moving from Hoosier, or if we'll see a tire war in the Modifieds. That would be interesting. But more on that as it develops. And one last little piece here before we flush this thing down. Fellow New Mexican Zane DeVilbiss had a rough night in his new home state of Iowa. I just saw this before the show started and thought I'd read this out loud on the show. And if you're having a bad day, it's definitely better than his. Zane writes, worst Uber ride ever. I hear a loud car pull up. Exhaust flex tube is obviously broke. I get in. She just sprayed 80 gallons of Febreze trying to cover up the massive exhaust smell inside the car. Love CO2 poisoning. Drive 85 and 55. Gets pulled over. It's right now I figure out she speaks zero English, so cop starts 21 questioning me. Mind you, I'm in the back seat. Cop takes my license because Uber doesn't speak English. Anyway, off to better things, off to Charlotte.
Holy shit.
So
sounds like my Greyhound ride.
Yeah, that's kind of why I added this in here. But of course, Zane DeVilbiss famous on this show for that beautiful Crown Royal and Coke car he ran at the Dome last year. Hopefully they bring that thing back at some point. Also, I hate to see a fellow New Mexican have an Albuquerque experience outside of the state, but that is the most New Mexican story I've ever heard in my fucking life. So I'm glad he was able to handle it. Alongside the World Finals, there are a couple other races happening on the asphalt world. South Boston is holding the Crush 250, big late model stock event. Friend of the program, Buddy Pulley, I believe, is going to be out there putting the mic in people's face. That's always good. He's the man you got to talk to if you want to learn about that shit, because I don't know anything about it. And of course, the All-American 400 at Nashville Fairgrounds this weekend. Big super late model show. That's on Racing America. So if you want to watch some asphalt racing and you hadn't had enough of that after this weekend at Phoenix, well, there's some less stressful shit to watch on Racing America this weekend. And of course, the World Finals on Dirt Vision. If you're going to be out there, like I said, I'll be there from Thursday to Saturday, hanging out in the pits. drinking beers, and just politicking and seeing all the friends out there. Really excited to see Kyle Ayala out there with his lady. I'll send my regards on y'all's behalf.
Please do.
And, of course, all the usual friends and family I have out there at the racetrack. Excited to see Kyle Armstrong working double shifts out there. Hardest working man in show business out there. Go buy a hoodie from him before. But make sure I get one, because every time I go up there and try and buy a Simpson hoodie, they're sold out. So don't let them sell you the last one. But that's it.
I have some serious FOMO this entire weekend.
Yeah, we'll send you videos and all that. And if by chance Bolt Bus or something happens to throw up a stop where you're at.
So, check the schedule again.
Yeah, we'll definitely miss you. And Brian, I won't miss you just yet, because I'm still going to pressure you into this. But if you don't make it, I'm going to miss you too. But we'll have a good time regardless. And like I said, come say what's up if you happen to be there.
Drink some moonshine for us.
I've already placed my order, so.
Well, don't get blackout drunk and burn your mouth on chili.
I probably won't. There's a particular cautionary tale that's got my mind on that. So, but that's it for the septic tank this week. I'm going to go ahead and flush this thing down, and we'll move on to our video of the week, which I'm just gonna say it's another fucking classic, folks.
Yeah, this will turn the mood of the. This will turn the mood of the show around a little bit, because this was super
Unlike
fun.
this picture you just sent to the group chat.
Oh yeah, there's a shot of Denny Hamlin, who won the Xfinity Fastest Lap of the Year award, and he just doesn't want to be there. Just like this deadpan look on his face, like
Looks like a picture from the future of him in court.
I think his expression's going to be a little bit happier in court. So
It's kind of
seems
Ben
like
Kennedy in this picture.
Yeah, they go to the same makeup guy.
All right, so Nashville now. This was a show that was, I believe it was kind of like TNN's talk show in the 90s. I obviously didn't watch this as a kid, but I remember seeing commercials for it.
Well, I did.
It was hosted by a man named Ralph Emery, who, again, I knew he was a country music guy.
Yes.
Thankfully, there is a commercial for his book later on in the show that taught me enough about who he is.
Yeah, you don't need to read the book after that commercial.
Nice. Didn't even need to look at Wikipedia. Just that told me all I needed to know about him.
I've never liked Ralph Emery, but he's definitely more built for radio than he is for TV. Even as a child, I thought he was a lousy host on television.
Yeah, he's not a great host here.
And he was a real dick to Gary Stewart when he was on that show, so I still hold that against him. But yeah, legendary Nashville radio guy, was on WSM for a long time. And definitely, I think he's in the Country Music Hall of Fame, even, if I remember correctly.
I'm sure he is, yeah. So yeah, this show, I'm assuming there's probably some sort of little intro that got cut out, but that's fine. There's more than enough content here, the rest of the video. This is a kind of like a pre-season episode. I think this was a week or two before they were about to head to Daytona and start Speed Weeks. And they got a bunch of NASCAR drivers and musical guests and stuff, and we'll get to all of it here. But first guest out was Darrell Waltrip, and he had a surprisingly mixed reaction. I mean, granted, this was kind of starting DW's golden years. I mean, 92 was the last time he won a race, and this was right when he had started his own team.
Yeah, people forget that a lot of folks did not like Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. I mean, for especially the large part of generation. I mean, even our generation. Granted, I was around for the end of his career, but he was definitely more beloved in the era that I've been around the sport. But yeah, I mean, he was kind of like Earnhardt, a guy that a lot of people did not like in the 70s and 80s, and this clearly still holds in this program, because he gets a nice smattering of booze, and they even have to acknowledge it. And while he tries to play it off like, any noise is good noise, you can tell it definitely rattles him, because he is
He didn't like that.
No, he is like not
He
his.
blamed it on people from Georgia.
Yeah.
And then they booed him louder when he said that.
Was he wrong?
I mean, I guess not, but he was not his normal jovial self throughout the entire show, because he just kept getting booed, which was very, very funny. He talks about how he's been working out because, the year prior, 91, I believe it was Daytona, he had a bad wreck and broke his leg and maybe had some other injuries. I just remember he missed a bunch of races that year, and, he was talking about that. Then they pretty much just play a commercial for the NASCAR video magazine, which, I've seen these tapes pop up from time to time, and I probably have a couple somewhere, but I don't think I've ever actually watched them. But they do a whole 3-minute commercial for this video series, and of course there are a bunch of these on YouTube, so I'm sure eventually I'll throw one of those up for a video of the week at some point.
Yeah. You don't need to pay the $9.99 with $3.99 shipping for that anymore.
Yeah. DW, after the ad runs, though, he is not incredibly enthusiastic, which seemed like he was there to pitch the video, and he definitely seemed like he couldn't give a shit about it. From there, though, we start to hear a car rumble, and out comes Bill Elliott in his brand new Junior Johnson Ford. This was his first year driving that car, switching over from the milling car the year prior. His quote getting out of the car was, "I was just riding around outside and decided to drop in, just casually driving my stock car around the parking lot."
His nice little knit diamond sweater.
Yeah, seriously.
DW says the car is possessed, and then they start talking about the font and the spacing of the numbers, and he says that doesn't look like a Junior Johnson car, because obviously he used to drive that car. They start talking about, Fords and Chevys, and the crowd starts booing DW again for driving a Chevy Lumina. And then, I don't know if y'all caught this, but there was a moment where DW was telling a story, and he mentioned Smokey Yunick, but he says Smokey Yunick, and very faintly in the background, you can hear Bill Elliott mimic him, which I thought that was very, very funny.
Oh, wow, I missed that. I'll have to go back.
I really enjoyed DW's comment about how the numbers are tilting backwards because Bill drives the car faster than he did.
From here, that brings us to our first commercial break. Let's see, we get an ad for Coffee Mate, milk in my cereal, Coffee Mate in my coffee. This was one of there's a handful of odd ads in this one, but this one really made me do a double take. There's a Toll House chocolate chips ad where it's just a grandma and her granddaughter, and the ad is just the kid going, "Boys can't bake," and then grandma's like, "There's lots of men that are great bakers," and then it's just Toll House chocolate chips, and that's the whole fucking commercial. What the hell was that about? That's such an odd thing to just bring up randomly. There's not even a guy in the room or anything. Very, very odd.
I got the feeling that was one of those ads that there's probably more to it, but they cut it for time.
Maybe, I guess. There's another Toll House ad that's a lot more normal, I would say, but just a weird one. Then from there, we get an ad for San Antonio, then the aforementioned Ralph Emery's autobiography. Barbara Mandrell gives an incredibly serious pitch talking about how difficult this man's life was and how everybody should read this book, and it's, again, very, I guess, not surprising, knowing what show this is on, but
God bless Barbara Mandrell.
What's that?
I love Barbara Mandrell so much. One of the best steel players on the planet.
I will take your word for it because I've never heard. I don't think I've ever heard any of her music.
Yeah.
And then we get an ad for Inside Winston Cup Racing. Back to the show. Randy Owen from Alabama is out.
Hell yeah.
Randy Owen is the only member of Alabama I can recognize. He's.
Why is that? He's got a particular baseball coach uncle haircut that he's had for
very Bob Seger-ish, I would say. Yeah. Just with a more of a cat-like face.
Yes.
So he is supposed
very diplomatic.
He is supposed to be a special guest of Richard Petty, but unfortunately, Richard Petty had some sort of ear problem and had to go to the hospital, and then it gets awkward because Randy doesn't really know what to say, and I don't think Ralph does either.
That's pretty common for Ralph.
Start talking. What's that?
Did we mention that Ralph is wearing a fire suit the entire time?
We didn't,
but he is.
He is, it's a racing show, but that's fine. He's dressed the part. Randy starts talking about a song called "The Fan," which they originally wrote in dedication to their fans, and they re-recorded it with lyrics about Richard Petty and his fans.
Yeah.
So they talk about that. Ralph has a little Richard Petty action figure from the Racing Champions line, because I had those as a kid, and they starts playing with that. And he's like, well, at least Richard's here.
Yeah. So I don't know where this came from. Who put this here? Like, is this supposed to be on camera?
We get Randy gives Ralph a Richard Petty Fan Appreciation Tour sweatshirt, which gives him one of the nicer ones. This one was like one of the striped ones. I've had hundreds of items from this tour.
Looks giant.
Merchandise probably as much as the Brickyard 400 from '94.
You can buy it all from the Richard Petty Museum with Richard's signature on it.
Yeah, you can buy most of the products still at the Petty Museum for probably the same price as when they were released. They're not expensive.
No.
Or just go to any flea market and you can find plenty of it there.
Yes.
Let's see. And then because Richard's not there, Randy's going to have to fill in for whatever race they're about to run, and he does not seem excited about that. And we don't quite yet know, at least within this episode, I don't know what the hell race they're talking about, but we'll get to that. Next commercial break, we get AT&T International Service, Mel and Pam Tillis on the Statler Brothers show, and then another amazing ad for a glasses shop called Frames Etc. It looks like it was probably filmed in 1984. It's just a shot of a guy asking a woman at the counter a bunch of questions, and you can barely see the woman's head. And then the end of the ad, they show one of the glasses shops, and it looks like it's just a fucking house. It was amazing. Loved it. Next up, we get Joe Gibbs calling in, and Ralph has to shush the audience because he doesn't think he can hear Joe.
Some random dude in the crowd just screams, Joe!
Yeah, the crowd is very rowdy throughout this entire episode. So this was coming off of Joe winning the Super Bowl with the Redskins that year. This was going to be the debut of his Cup Series team, and they just talk about that a little bit. And he mentions how his kid's getting done with school. I'm assuming that's JD they're talking about. I'm not sure which one it would be.
Yeah.
And how he's going to be getting into racing once he's done.
I loved how this just happened to be in this video, just given what we were about to witness this weekend when I watched it anyway. I don't believe I got into I forget when I watched this, but I hadn't gotten to the race yet when I first watched it, and it was kind of cool to hear Joe at the very beginning of this. And now all these years later, it's Joe Gibbs Racing, and it's not what he's most known for still, I don't think, but that organization is just as successful as his time with the Redskins. So it was crazy to hear that from all the way at the beginning.
I think it's almost two generations because, all of his success in football. I mean, when did he stop finally coaching? It wasn't even that long ago, but I mean, most of his success was in the 90s, and then as he transitioned out of full-time coaching is when the Cup Series stuff picked off. So really, I think it's probably generational depending on how you know him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's my notes here? Next up, Mike Joy is here to do play-by-play, and the race they're doing is an RC car race. They talk about how TNN is now NASCAR's country home, and they're adding more racing to the broadcast schedule and all that stuff, which, TNN was, more or less the unofficial home of racing.
It's the reason, man. It's the reason why I'm into it as I am.
Mm-hmm. They talk about, too, I forgot that, again, another thing that was debuting, this was the first year of the Winston Under Lights, and I didn't even realize this was the first non-short track under the light race. NASCAR never run anywhere bigger than Bristol or Richmond prior to 92. So Ralph kind of goes and explains what the race is going to be. It's like a 10-lap race with these RC cars, and prizes are given out to fans in the crowd and blah, blah, blah. They cut over a little bit, and Ken Schrader's there, and they don't even mention it's him for a second. They introduce Doyle Ford, who's there to flag the race. I mean, Doyle Ford was the flagman for the Cup Series at the time. And now they introduce Ken Schrader, and he does not seem happy, excited, or confident about his chances in this race. He looks very uncomfortable the entire time he's on camera.
Yeah, the itchy knit white sweater he was wearing.
Yeah, a lot of sweaters on this.
A lot of knit sweaters in this.
So the first race is Kenny versus Randy, and Randy, again, does not want to take part in this at all. They're talking about, well, should we do a pace lap? And the guy's like, I don't think we can do that. And when they actually run the race, the guys are just chastaining it the whole time, just not trying to steer the cars at all, just going and just running along the wall the entire fucking time. Kenny loses, and he mentions he's disappointed that Darrell Waltrip is there instead of Dale Earnhardt, which is funny and not surprising.
And true.
He also said he's headed to the Copper Classic after this.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
They show a little display in the background, and it's all the different merch they're giving away to the crowd, and it's a bunch of stuff that was popular then, like RC cars and petty shit and Racing Champions cars and all that stuff, which was, the majority of this was before Action and Chase and all that stuff. So Racing Champions was the big game in town at that point. Let's see here. Sorry, I just lost my spot in the notes. Okay. Next race is Bobby Hamilton versus Ralph from Alabama.
Randy.
No, just Ralph.
Ralph Emery. Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, they had Ralph do this, and I don't know why. Ralph was bitching about the cars not being lined up properly. Somebody in the audience yells at Bobby and calls him a ham bone. Somebody. Yeah, there's a few things that you really got to listen for, but there's some good stuff here.
This whole thing with the heat races too is they were pairing them up with audience members to win the prizes, like you said. And I really was hoping that they would show each audience member, because I really wanted to get a look at this rowdy ass crowd, but they didn't.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
You can imagine them though.
Oh yeah. During the race, somebody tells Ralph to turn harder, and he spins Bobby out, and the crowd boos the shit out of him, which is very funny. Then Mike Joy, after the race, pitches to a new clothing line, and they cut to a crumpled shirt on the rack. As a pitch man myself, I just got a kick out of that. Next commercial break, the normal Toll House ad with a mom and her daughter, Pine Sol, and then AT&T again. Back from commercial, there's a guy named Mike Powell out here to sing, and he is a member of Sterling Marlin's pit crew, and he brought Ralph a Maxwell House sweater. They talk about his cassette tape, which is this song about racing, and God Bless the USA, his own cover of that, and Ralph mentions he's not going to do that song tonight, but he's going to do this other song.
Boy, does he hold the shit out of that mic cable as he sings the song.
I have never heard of this guy or seen him before, but he looks about as stereotypical as a 90s NASCAR crew member that also sings country music would look. Big head and a feathered mullet. Yeah. And as Rob mentions, just white knuckling the mic cord the whole time, singing this song about they are the men behind the wheels. And it's
really
just a song.
This is going to be on Spotify, but I couldn't find it.
It's not there.
I couldn't find it anywhere.
The song, it's a goofy country song about guys being pit crew members, and for a show a bit like this, it's perfect. Not a song I need to hear too many times, but
with the incredible Nashville Now band behind him, that band is so fucking good.
Well, speaking of the band, I noticed that the guitar player was playing one of those goofy 80s guitars without the headstocks on it. Yeah. I always thought those things are ridiculous. And also, Randy has a belt buckle that's about a foot wide. So yeah, that's the first musical performance of the show. Back to the racing. This is when Randy from Alabama races Bobby Hamilton in the semifinals. It's the same shit. Bobby wins, and Randy just is ready to get the fuck out of there. Next commercial break, we get an ad for Garth Brooks. We get an ad for Just for Men Great Looking Gray. Which is not a product I ever heard of. Purina Dog Biscuits. Another great back-to-back combo of commercials. We get one for Wrigley's Gum with a woman talking about how she chews Wrigley to help curb her snack cravings, followed up immediately by an ad for cheddar fucking cheese.
Ironically, cheddar cheese is what I use to curb my snack cravings.
It wasn't a brand. There was no company. It was just big cheddar cheese.
Yep, just
Big
cheese.
cheddar.
And then an ad for TNN Exploring America, whatever the hell that is. Coming back from the break, Ralph gives a little, more or less an ad read for the RC cars themselves, which are produced by a company called JRL. They actually made cars probably from the late 80s up until the mid 90s, so there are a lot of different variations out there. They're not incredibly expensive, and if you want a 1989 Davy Allison still in the box, never played with, it's even got the original battery that is not leaking toxic acid. I can promise you that. I have one, so hit me up for an offer. So the next race is Bill versus Darrell Waltrip, because they were the finalists last year, apparently, and they were going to face the winner, which was Bobby, of the other semifinal race. Somebody's transmitter is fucked up, and the cars are all running around by themselves. They end up getting the thing started, and during the race, Bill's leading the whole time. They do a quick couple cuts to actual in-car footage of DW's car. DW tries wrecking Bill, but Bill still wins anyways. After the race, DW's bitching about his car breaking, because what happened was DW spun out and drove around backwards and drove full throttle into Bill's car and broke his car. And then after giving this ad for the cars, Mike just drops the thing on the ground afterwards. And then they show a replay of the wreck. Let's see. The next commercial break, Lanacane anti... This one's the gross commercial break.
Yeah.
We get Lanacane anti-itch cream, Murine earwax removal, Carpet Fresh featuring a stinky dog and a stinky guy smoking a cigar, LaChoy soy sauce, Crick and Chase.
Yeah, Crick and Chase belong in there.
And then, so this was a commercial. So you guys were watching this the other night before I did, and Ashley mentioned an ad for a place called Wet Pets. And this made me immediately think of an ad from my weird circle of the internet, as far as the weird old shit I watch. There was an ad from the 2000s for a place called Wet Pets San Pablo. And it's a very funny, weird 2000s commercial, and I thought it was somehow related to this Wet Pets.
Is it
It
not?
is not. No,
What?
not at all.
Oh.
No,
Why are there so many wet pets?
that's the thing, and that's why when I saw it, I was like, holy shit. So this place was actually called Wet Pets Fin and Feather Outlet in mid-Ohio, and for some reason this ad was, we sponsor the NFL, and if you come in within 3 days of any NFL game, everything's going to be on sale, which was just fucking what?
None of this commercial made sense to me. It was just that they kept showing a monkey and a parrot, but it's called Wet Pets, and monkeys and parrots aren't wet. I was so confused after I watched it.
Yeah, it was. I'm gonna have to do some more research on this Wet Pets. And then
Careful when you Google that.
Putting that in my browser.
And maybe put it in incognito mode before you fire that one off.
And the last ad here is one for the 1992 Olympics, starring Lorenzo Music, the voice of Garfield, which is I'm probably the only person that caught that.
Yep.
I was still too
Correct.
boggled by the Wet Pets to pay much attention to that one.
Let's see here. So we come back from this commercial break, and
This is my
Ralph
favorite
can't
part of
remember.
the show.
Ralph can't remember Bill Elliott's Awesome Bill nickname. He fucks it up for 10 seconds.
He goes, Awesome Bill? He goes, Awesome Bill? Awesome Bill. Dawsonville? Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
At this point, Kenny's on the couch, and he looks very uncomfortable. He starts talking about midget racing, and at first I thought Ralph was trying to make a midget joke, and
Sure
it kind of went over Kenny's head, and you could kind of hear some people in the audience chuckling, but then I realized Ralph actually does know what midget racing is, because they start talking, DW is there and Bill's there, and neither one of those two have ever raced midgets, but Marty Robbins has, because Ralph mentioned seeing him do that, which I didn't know that either, so that was cool. There's a female singer on the couch, which, what the hell is her name? Robin Lee. I didn't catch her name, but they were talking to her, and she said she just went to some driving school with Chad Little. And then, this is an interesting moment. Ralph asks DW, are there any ladies in NASCAR right now? And at the time, there wasn't. But Ralph did this because he called out DW for some interview he'd done probably 10, 15 years prior, saying that women should stay off the track. And DW kind of sheepishly tried to walk back those comments and, say, oh, my stupid mouth, blah, blah, blah. But then he also, the caution flag flew on the screen, which was very funny. But then getting out of that, he still kind of like put him down a little bit. He's like, well, they're probably as good as we are on these RC cars. Like, fuck off, DW.
Yeah, he really dug his hole there at the end. So.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So after this embarrassing moment, Joe Diffie is here, and
yes, he is.
I mean, it was a good song. It wasn't one I knew, but it was also kind of a bummer song. Like, I don't know.
Oh, is it cold in here? That song is fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite Joe Diffie songs, and the performance is fucking electric.
It was good. It seemed like a bit of a downer song to play on this show is all. But it was good, of course.
And this is before he met Liz Allison, right?
Yes, Davey was still alive,
Probably
so this was... Well, I mean...
Right around this time. Yeah. It was probably that gold chain and fuchsia shirt
Davey wasn't even fucking there, okay? Let's listen. Let's leave that alone. And then before we...
Love Joe Diffie. Holy shit.
Before we cut back to commercial, Ralph starts asking Bill about how his new team and if any of the guys are going to come over to the new team. And Bill gets a little too technical in his answer, at least for this program, and Ralph kind of stops paying attention. Yeah. Another ad break. There's another LaChoy ad. This time it's for the little crispy noodles. And
I love those things.
Those are very good. Yeah. And there's just a little noodle tin dancing around the kitchen. That was good. The weird Toll House ad again. Another gross one for Gold Bond medicated powder with some lady from Boston talking about scratching the skin off her arm.
Yeah.
That was a fucking ad.
You'll have that.
And then one for the Bedazzler, which this was probably at the Bedazzler's prime. So that was a fun one to see. Back from commercial, Ralph calls out DW for walking in front of the camera a bunch of times like a dickhead. The main event is Bill versus Bobby. Hamilton basically laps Bill, but then Bill just slows down and stops and then like backs into him. It's like, Bob, you can turn the cars. Bob, you can just turn right around them. What are you fucking doing?
It was amazing. Yeah.
Meanwhile, DW has a little broom that he's walking around with.
They throw a caution, and then Bobby wrecks him immediately after the restart, and then they're farting around again. And then Bill just yells, "What are you doing using a broom handle on my car?" and then DW says the car's got a demon in it. And, Bobby Hamilton was the winner. Yep. Robin Lee, the singer, is giving Bobby an award, and it's very awkward. And then Bobby gives some rambling speech that was like kind of Boomhauer-esque in how quick he talked, and I couldn't understand half of what he was saying, but he was like thanking DW for teaching him how to wreck or something. I don't fucking know. And then the final, to close out the show, we get 2 more commercials. Meow Mix with cats dancing instead of just singing, and an Alabama cassette record ad, and then Robin Lee does a song, and that's the end of the broadcast. Perfect. Yeah, this was a super fun time capsule. I knew it would be good. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, but it sounds like y'all enjoyed it. So, what are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to watch Nashville Now when I was a little kid. That was right alongside all the NASCAR stuff they were doing. I did not see this episode when it was originally aired, but I guess a couple takeaways I had from this. One was just, again, we've mentioned it previously, but the rowdiness of the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't particularly get that anymore out of NASCAR fans. And I think that's a shame because those people were really, really enthusiastic. Like, outside of booing people at driver intros and being bitches on Twitter, that's really all we get now. We don't have this sort of, I don't even know how to describe it, almost good old boy kind of shit talk enthusiasm kind of thing going on, and I think that's a shame. Also, number 2, Bill Elliott, low-key hilarious. Very.
Anytime he got real animated, his accent would come out, and it just tickled me to death.
Yeah, he had some zingers in that, and again, him backing over Bobby Hamilton, I thought was fucking hilarious, and yeah. I feel like Bill has a reputation for not being much of a character. He's usually kind of stoic or quiet, or not one of the cut-ups. But it was fun to see him cut loose a little bit, and he's pretty funny.
Just gotta wait for it to come out.
Yeah. What'd you think, True Love?
Yeah, like you said, I watched. TNN was on TV all the time in my house growing up. So
that's what we had cable for.
Yeah. So I watched a ton of this. I don't remember this episode as a kid, but I also drank a lot in my 20s, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this. All the little Bill and DW kind of bickering back and forth. And I also forgot to mention, talking about the rowdy crowd, when Ralph couldn't say Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, the crowd started like screaming at him, trying to help him remember what it was or how to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was just a great pick. A nice little time capsule, as we always like to say. But.
Yeah. Yep. I would hope that this is a reference point for the NASCAR marketing team going forward if they're trying to lean into the nostalgia. I don't think they're going to make these guys race RC cars or by any means, because that would suck in 2025. But this is an excellent reference point for what the whole thing used to kind of feel like, I think. And it was nice to experience that after an unsettling weekend for a lot of fans, I think. So watch this and cleanse your palate, folks.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's a good palate cleanser for sure.
And with that, no video of the week next week. It'll just be a wrap-up show and talking about whatever else. So I'll be digging up more shit throughout the off-season to entertain you and piss you off next year. So
we'll probably have a couple episodes sprinkled throughout the off season. I think we'll do one for the Dome and the Snowball Derby and all that, as we did last year. And then I'm sure there'll be a Chili Bowl episode or something else in between to tide you over and talk about whatever news breaks. Obviously, the lawsuit is going to be settling after we wrap up for the year. So we'll probably have to talk about that at some point too. But yeah, one more.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's over.
Yeah, it did seem like it kind of flew by. I definitely watched more racing, at least on TV, than I have all year, or in a long time. So
yeah.
But yeah, after this past weekend, I'm ready to not watch this much for a bit. But yeah, World Finals this weekend. At least one of us will be there. And that's about all I got here. So, as always, you can follow us on Instagram at meetmeatapplebees. Follow us on YouTube at meetmeatapplebees. I am Speedway Screens and all the things. SpeedwayTSJ.etsy.com is the shop, and MMA Applebees at checkout for 15% off.
Still Snake Mountain. True Love. I can't say I'll probably be posting much this off season because me and NASCAR are taking a break.
Well, there's always the Snowball Derby. Rob Motes _ unofficial on Instagram. My band's called These Wild Plains. Finally got some final mixes back of the Charlie Marie record, and whoo-wee, boy, I'm telling you, that record fucking rips. Proud of that one. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. As I said earlier, I'll be at the finals pretty much all weekend, Thursday through Saturday. Please come say what's up. Again, for all the bitching I do on this show, hanging out with people and experiencing racing, especially short track shit, with people like you guys and all the listeners out there. Again, we've got to meet a lot of you guys this year and expand the family a little bit. That's the best part of this whole thing. So we bitch and moan just because we care, because all of our friendships they stem off of this. So I think that's why all of us get so angry when shit like this happens. But
yeah, a lot of emotions tied into it.
Yeah, but yeah. Again, excited to see you guys at the finals, and come say what's up. I'll be in the pits.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear your recap next week.
Yeah, we're going to have us a time. It seems like there's a couple extracurriculars planned. I guess there's an after party at a Amici Pizza and Sports Bar. That sounds fun. That's pretty close to the racetrack, I guess, and Uberable from my brother-in-law's house.
I hope you get that same lady Uber with the Febreze problem.
Yeah, well, she's in Iowa, so hopefully I don't. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Cool. Well, with that, looks like the check is here. So thanks for joining us again at Applebee's, and we'll talk to y'all next week.